Border Narratives. Stories of people with disabilities living at the U.S.-Mexico border.
A montage of arid landscapes and cities. Next, a woman with short hair and glasses is interviewed remotely against a virtual cactus background.
My name is Alisha Vasquez. I am from Tucson, Arizona. I'm fifth generation Tucsonense, meaning my family has occupied these lands that have been historically cared for by the Tohono-O'odham, Yoeme, and Apache people. And my family's been here since 1880.
A monochromatic map of North America zooms in to show a red borderline between Tucson and neighboring Altar.
My great-great-grandfather, Adolfo Vasquez, was born in Altar, Sonora, which is about 2 hours south of Tucson. The line that exists between the US and Mexico didn't exist when he was born.
A photograph of the red iron border wall cutting through the desert, a tall cactus in the foreground.
It was pretty much not the border as we understand it today until about 1994. And we started to see this fortification of our southern border with Mexico.
An aerial view of Tucson sprawling outwards towards arid mountains. Next, a streetcar passes in front of a downtown center.
Like most cities of its size, Tucson is going through this incredible gentrification boom, which is displacing and pricing out people that have been here, indigenous folks without money, and then of course disabled people kind of fall in that disposable category. And so this downtown center that my grandfather grew up in, that my family kind of helped create, is going through this just immense wave of demolishing and then building anew without the brown and black bodies that were there.
Alisha sits on a carpeted floor playing with a small girl.
Right now, I'm identifying as a Crip Chicana mama. I am the proud parent of a 3-year-old named Athena.
Alisha in the kitchen with Athena, crutches lean against the countertop.
I was born with a short left leg, and I've had about 20 surgeries to quote unquote correct my short leg. And so I've been a wheelchair and crutch user since I was 5 years old.
Alisha sits outside her small brick home, typing on a laptop in the shade.
When I started college, it gave me a whole new set of lenses with which to understand my life. Being from Tucson, I was the first person in my family to make it by a scholarship to the University of Arizona, where I felt like a total outsider. Feeling like the other as a poor person, feeling like the other as a Chicana, feeling like the other as a woman, all of those things intersected, but it was here that I really started to see myself through Crip eyes. And I would say that it was still very much trying to mimic the super Crip mentality that I think so many of us have. I think that was part of my pushing myself, like, I'm gonna be a success, I'm gonna go to college to get out of poverty, I'm not gonna complain because other people have it worse. And I think that for a lot of disabled people gets us stuck in performing and doing things that actually end up hurting us physically, spiritually, and emotionally.
Alisha uses crutches to walk beside her husband while Athena pedals a bike in front.
It wasn't until I would say I was about 33 and I really wanted to become a parent that I finally said, you know what, my body's different. And I started to honor that, and I started to unlearn neoliberal capitalist notions of what success is. And I started to unlearn supercryptum. And that meant, giving up a lot of the identities that I thought, defined who I was.
Alisha uses crutches to navigate downtown Tucson. When
I became pregnant, it became harder to walk. I'm definitely physically not ever going to be what I was 4 years ago today, but also I don't miss that. I don't want to be that anymore. And so unlearning those coping mechanisms, right, that I think a lot of especially Mexican American women hold in order to just survive, right? They're survival mechanisms. My mom gave me a lot of them. But they're from the perspective of an able-bodied person. And so unlearning them as a Crip Chicana mama, it's gotten me to the space to where I can understand why I was the way that I am, understand why society is the way it is, but also it's given me the knowledge and power to be very true to myself. And that's been, I think, the most liberating experience of my life.
Paper flowers hang from a traditional thatched roof. Next, Alisha tours a museum exhibit.
So the Mexican American Heritage and History Museum was founded in March of 2019, and I was appointed co-director in February of 2022. And I'm hoping to bring my experience as a middle school, high school, college educator, as well as a community activist who very much is honoring place-based history, place-based heritage, and place-based culture. I want to create this moment where people can unlearn all of the colonial narratives, all of the meta narratives that we've been fed, to understand that they themselves don't have to believe what the media is telling them, what politicians are telling them, and even what their family members are telling them. I see that as my role as an educator, to create these spaces where people can get talking and to think a little bit more critically about what the border is.
Alisha sits smiling, her chin resting on her crutches. In the background, a panoramic view of sunny Tucson.
Border Narratives, produced by Arizona Center for Disability Law and Rooted in Rights. Funding by Borealis Philanthropy.